Welcome to this NPTS Engineering College, Department of Civil Engineering. Myself, V. Gajendra, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering. So I'm going to be discussing the subject. I'm going to be teaching the subject Surveying Geomatics. For the today's session, I'm going to be discussing about the magnetic declination. What is meant by the magnetic declination? What are the variations in magnetic declination? And if the declination is going to be present, how we are going to be calculating the bearings. So first we have to know the magnetic declination concept. First we have to understand that what is meant by the bearing. So what is meant by the bearing? The bearing is going to be reference direction based upon which direction we have to be considered. If I'm going to be taking as a true north, so that is the poles, geographical poles I'm going to be taking is going to be true north, then it is going to be called as a true bearing. So then next one is going to be called as magnetic north is my reference point, reference direction. From the reference direction of magnetic north, I am going to be measure the bearing I am going to call as a magnetic bearing. Then third one is going to be called, there are three types. The third one is going to be called as arbitrary north or temporary direction. Any direction I am going to be taking for temporary purpose. From that assumed direction, I am going to be measuring the bearing. I am going to call it as arbitrary bearing. Arbitrary bearing. So true north is geographical poles. I am going to be considered as a reference direction. From that reference direction, I am measuring the bearing is going to be called as true bearing. Magnetic needle suspended freely. It shows the magnetic north. From the magnetic north as a reference direction, I am going to be measuring the bearing is going to be called as magnetic bearing. Arbitrary north is temporary direction. Any direction I am going to be taking temporary purpose. From that direction, I am going to be measuring the bearing is going to be called as arbitrary bearing. So these are the three bearings. So we are going to be measuring for the direction, and from the bearings, we are going to be calculating that the angles. So how the angles is going to be calculated is from the forward bearing and backward bearing. Every line will be having that the forward bearing and backward bearing. From the forward bearing and backward bearing, we are going to be calculating that the angle. So bearing, so angle we are going to be measuring. Bearing is going to be giving the direction. Angle is going to be called as the intersection of the two lines is going to be getting that the angular measurement. So here the angular measurement we are going to be getting indirectly. So I want to get the angle. So I have to be use the theodolite instrument. From the theodolite surveying, I am going to be getting the angle directly. Angular measurements directly I can able to measure by using that the theodolite instrument. But by using that the compass, I am going to be getting the angle indirectly. So the compass is going to be called indirect measurement of compass. So here I am going to be using as the prismatic compass. Prismatic compass. I am going to be getting indirect measurement. Indirect measurement of this. So from this, first I will get the bearing. From the bearing, I am going to be getting that the angle. So that's why we are going to be called as the indirect measurement. Indirect measurement by using that the compass, we are going to be getting that the bearing. So then the angle I am going to be getting. So if I want to get directly angle, this is the direct measurement. Then I will use that the instrument is theodolite. So the theodolite instrument directly is going to be giving the measurement of the angles, either the horizontal angle and vertical angle. So this is about what is the difference between bearing and angle. Bearing is the direction. It is going to be given from the reference direction, reference either the true north, magnetic north or arbitrary north. From the true north, we are going to be getting the bearing is going to be called as true bearing. From the magnetic north, we are going to measure the bearing is magnetic bearing. From arbitrary north, we are going to measure the bearing is going to be called as arbitrary bearing. So bearing always gives the direction. From the direction, I am able to calculate the angles. That's why it is going to be called as indirect way, indirect measurement of the angles by using the compass. by the direct measurement of the angle using the theodolite. So if you take the direction, this is the magnetic north. Magnetic north. From this, I'm going for the line AB. So in the forward direction, yeah, I'm going to be called as forward bearing. So this is forward bearing, and this is back. This is known as the backward bearing. So this angle is going to be forward bearing, and this angle is going to be called as backward bearing. So in the backward direction, this is in progressive direction. For any line, is going to be giving the direction is going to be called forward bearing in the progressive direction and backward bearing in the reverse direction. We are going to be measuring from the magnetic north. Magnetic north is going to be called a reference point. Why I am going to be explaining about the forward bearing and backward bearing? I want to get that the angle, I have to know about the forward bearing and backward bearing of a line. Now this is the magnetic north. This is the point B. From the point B, one more line is getting the C. So this is I'm going to be getting the included angle. So this is forward bearing. So forward bearing of AB, backward bearing of AB, and forward bearing of BC. So once you know that one, so we are going to be calculating this is the angle. This angle is going to be called as angle B. Angle B I'm going to be getting. Means for every line, one is forward bearing, another one is going to be backward bearing. The difference of forward bearing and backward bearing equal to 180 degrees. So like that, the traverse is going to be carried out, and we are going to be measuring that the bearings. From the bearing, we are going to be calculating the angles. So now we are going to be coming to the declination. So magnetic declination. So what is the magnetic declination? This is true north. So this is the magnetic north. So what is the angle between the true north and magnetic north? This is the angle between true north and magnetic north. So this is east, south, and west. So this is we are going to be called as declination theta degrees east. Declination theta degrees east means the angle between the true north and magnetic north we are going to be called as a declination. This is going to be called a decline. It is going to be deviating from the true north, and how much deviation will be there. From that, how we are going to be calculating the bearings. So that is we are going to be called as magnetic declination. Magnetic declination is the variation or the horizontal angle between the true north and magnetic north. We are going to be called as a magnetic declination. If it is in the east direction, then it is going to be called an eastward declination. If is your declination will be there in the west direction, this is magnetic north. So this is we are going to be called as theta degrees west. Theta degrees west. So always eastward direction is going to be called as a positive one. This is positive, and this is negative. Westward declination we are going to consider as the negative. So from the true north, how much deviation will be there? When west direction is going to decline, then it is going to be called a westward declination. In east direction is going to be declined, then it is going to be called as eastward declination. So the angle between the true north and magnetic north, so that we are going to call declination. If it is towards east, then it is going to be called as eastward declination. If it is towards west, it is going to be called as westward direction. So then once we are going to be observing how we are going to be calculating true bearing and magnetic bearing. So this is a true north, magnetic north. This is the declination. And if the line AB, the direction of line AB is like this. So this is we are going to be called as from magnetic north. So this we are going to be calling measured is going to be called as magnetic bearing. from, so this is declination, theta degrees east. From true north, I am going to be measuring to that direction. This is we are going to be called as true bearing. From true north to the direction AB is going to be called as true bearing. From the magnetic north, I am going to be measuring the direction is going to be called as magnetic bearing. So now how I can able to calculate true bearing and how I can able to calculate magnetic bearing. So then the true bearing, this is the true bearing. If I want the true bearing, so I have to be calculate what is the magnetic bearing and what is the eastward declination. Both together added, I am able to get that the true bearing itself. True bearing equals to magnetic bearing plus east declination. Magnetic bearing plus east declination. If I want to get magnetic bearing, I want to know the magnetic, I want to calculate the magnetic bearing. So this is the magnetic bearing, true bearing minus east declination. So magnetic bearing, I want to know the magnetic bearing calculate. This the true bearing is the total angle minus what is the declination will be there is declination. I'm going to be getting that the magnetic bearing. So in this way we are going to be calculating if it is declination is going to be given, how we are going to be estimating that true bearing and how we are going to be estimating that the magnetic bearing, true bearing and magnetic bearing. Once you know that the magnetic bearing, so from that true bearing we are going to be calculated with respect to that the declination. Similarly, I want to know that the magnetic bearing. So true bearing has to be finding out. Then the declination is going to be given. Then we are going to be calculating that the magnetic bearing. So this is related to the east declination. Then if the declination is going to be west, how we are going to be using? Or otherwise, general formula is true bearing is equals to magnetic bearing plus or minus declination. True bearing equals to magnetic bearing plus or minus declination plus sine. I had to use that magnetic bearing plus east declination. Your declination is east plus sine minus sine is going to be used for west. Minus sign for you are going to be using west. This is general formula that true bearing, I want to calculate true bearing is magnetic bearing plus or minus declination. Now the second case is that true north magnetic north. So this is theta degrees west, north, south, east, theta degrees west. The declination is going to be called as in westward direction. Line is same direction is C to D. C to D is the line this going, and from the true north, whatever I'm going to be measuring is going to be called. This is true bearing. Magnetic bearing means from the magnetic north. Magnetic north is going to be reference point. From the true north is the reference point. I'm going to be measuring is going to be true bearing. From this one, I am going to be measuring from the magnetic north. I am going to be with reference to the magnetic north. I am going to be measuring the bearing is going to be called as magnetic bearing. Now I have to be calculate what is the true bearing. So what is the true bearing? So true bearing, I want to calculate what is the true bearing. For that, so what I am going to be doing it, I want to calculate the true bearing. So magnetic bearing minus theta degrees west, we are going to be using. True bearing is the magnetic bearing minus west declination. I want to know true bearing means magnetic bearing is the whole value minus theta degrees west. I am able to get what is the true bearing. Similarly, magnetic bearing, I want to calculate magnetic bearing. It knows that the true bearing. Then So this is the magnetic bearing. True bearing plus west. True bearing plus west declination. True bearing plus the west declination that we have. So then it's going to be calculated what is that the magnetic bearing. So in this way we are going to be calculating so true bearing and magnetic bearing if the declination is going to be westward direction. Declination is going to be westward direction. From this we are going to get so finally we are going to be deducing the general equation, framing the general equation. True bearing equals to magnetic bearing plus or minus declination. Plus or minus declination. Similarly, magnetic bearing equals to true bearing plus or minus declination. Magnetic bearing is true bearing plus or minus declination. Here, so I want to get that the magnetic bearing, so my westward declination is going to be added. So here, so the declination, west declination is going to be positive, west is going to be positive, and east declination is going to be called as negative. While you are going to be calculating the magnetic bearing, positive sign we have to use that westward direction, west declination, and negative sign we are going to use for east direction. Similarly, here it is in the opposite direction. While I am going to be calculating the true bearing, positive sign I am going to be using here. Positive sign I am going to be using for east declination, and the negative sign I am going to be using for west declination. Negative sign I am going to be using. So the true bearing I want to get it. So magnetic bearing minus the westward declination. That's why we are going to be using minus sign. While you are going to be calculating the true bearing, positive is to use for east and negative to use for west. While I am going to be calculating magnetic bearing, so in the formula plus and minus is there. Plus is going to be used for west declination, and for minus sign I am going to be using for east declination. So then one problem will going to be worked out. So the true bearing, magnetic bearing of AB is magnetic bearing of AB is 135 degrees 30 minutes. And declination is given in the problem. Declination is 5 degrees 15 minutes west. 5 degrees 15 minutes. 5 degrees 15 minutes west. What is the true bearing? So we can use directly with the formula true bearing equals to magnetic bearing plus or minus declination. Plus or minus declination. So if the west is going to positive, we have to be use it is east declination. Negative we are going to be use so west declination. East declination. East declination and as the west declination. So now true bearing equals to what is the magnetic bearing? 135 degrees 30 minutes. And declination is going to be given as west. There is a minus sign we have to use 5 degrees 15 minutes. Then 130 degrees 15 minutes is the true bearing. So by using directly the formula we can able to use it, or otherwise by using the diagram. Now magnetic bearing of the AB and declination is going to be given as west. So in this way, so this is true north. This is magnetic north. Magnetic north and 5 degrees 15 minutes. This is the declination is given as 5 degrees 15 minutes. But magnetic bearing of AB is given as 135 degrees 30 minutes. So this is 90, 95. So 130 means here it is going to be 135 degrees is 90. 5. So magnetic bearing of AB magnetic bearing of AB is this is going to be given as 135 degrees 30 minutes. So this is magnetic bearing. True bearing is this is from the true north. So I have to be calculated is true bearing. So this is the magnetic bearing. My magnetic bearing minus 5 if it means then I am able to get the true bearing. So true bearing equals to this is the magnetic bearing 135 degrees 30 minutes minus this one 5 degrees 15 minutes of declination. So I'm going to be getting that 130 degrees 15 minutes. Here also the same answer we are able to get it while you have to draw the diagram from the diagram. So we can able to calculate the what is the true bearing. Next is the second problem. True bearing of line CD. True bearing of line CD equals to 210 degrees 45 minutes. 210 degrees 45 minutes. Declination equals to 8 degrees 15 minutes. 8 degrees 15 minutes. 8 degrees 15 minutes. 8 degrees 15 minutes west. True bearing of the line is given, declination is given. We have to calculated what is the magnetic bearing. What is the magnetic bearing? So once again we can draw the diagram. True north. 8 degrees 15 minutes is west is given. Eight degrees 15 minutes. So this is magnetic north towards west, north, south, and east. So true bearing of the line CD. CD true bearing. From the true north we have measured. CD is given as 210 degrees 45 minutes. So 90, 180, 188 means it is going to be coming over here. Your line C, D. So this is 90. This is 90 first quadrant and the second quadrant is 90. 180 plus 188 means it has given us 210 degrees 45 minutes is going to be coming. The direction is coming in the CD in third quadrant. Third quadrant. Now what is there from the true bearing is from true north I am going to measuring is 210 degrees 45 minutes. 210 degrees 45 minutes. 210 degrees 45 minutes. Now where we calculate what is the magnetic bearing. Magnetic bearing means from here we have to be calculated is going to be called as magnetic bearing. So magnetic bearing means it is going to be called as your true bearing plus your declination is going to be giving you as your magnetic bearing. This is the magnetic bearing. Magnetic bearing. So the magnetic bearing equals to true bearing plus 8 degrees 15 minutes west declination. 8 degrees 15 minutes west declination. So what is the true bearing? It's given as 210 degrees 45 minutes plus 8 degrees 15 minutes. So total 219 degrees. 219 degrees is the magnetic bearing. Otherwise, so we are able to use the formula magnetic bearing or magnetic bearing equals to true bearing plus or minus declination. Here positive we are going to be using for west declination. Negative is going to be for east declination. Now magnetic bearing equals to true bearing 210 degrees 45 minutes plus 8 degrees 15 minutes. So magnetic bearing 290 degrees. So from the equation, and this is we calculated from the diagram. From the diagram we calculated is 290 degrees. From the equation we calculated, from the formula we calculated magnetic bearing is the 290, one and the same. So only thing is we had to draw the diagram correctly, identifying that magnetic north and true bearing and magnetic bearing, and how we had to be shows that the declination east or west. Then if you draw perfectly, then we can able to calculate it magnetic bearing or the true bearing. Whatever the bearing will be required, we can able to calculate it based on that the declination. So this is the second method we are going to calculate in magnetic bearing. First is going to be called how we have to calculate the true bearing. One more problem is third problem. Magnetic bearing of a line AB equals to south 30 degrees 50 minutes. South 30 degrees 15 minutes south 30 degrees 15 minutes west. Instead of giving directly to the whole circle bearing, they are going to be giving is in the quadrantal bearing system. So first I had to see that what is the quadrantal bearing system. North, south, east, west. South 30 degrees 15 minutes is the decent. This is 30 degrees 15 minutes. (30 degrees 15 minutes). Now I have to be converted into the whole circle bearing. Whole circle bearing is, so this is 180 plus 30 degrees 15 minutes is going to become a whole circle bearing. Whole circle bearing always is going to be giving as 180 plus quadrantal bearing. 180 plus quadrantal bearing, whole circle bearing equals to 180 plus quadrantal bearing is 30 degrees 15 minutes. 30 degrees 15 minutes. This is 210 degrees 15 minutes. 210 degrees 15 minutes. So magnetic bearing of a line is given. Now this will be equals to 210 degrees 15 minutes. So magnetic bearing of a line AB is given. The declination is going to be given. Declination equals to 10 degrees 15 minutes east. Ten degrees 15 minutes east. Now if we draw a diagram, magnetic true north, what is the declination? 10 degrees 15 minutes is given. This is magnetic north. And what is the angle is given? 210 degrees 15 minutes. 210 degrees 90, 180. So this is 210. So magnetic bearing is given from magnetic north. 210 degrees 15 minutes. 210 degrees 15 minutes. Now we have to be calculated what is the true bearing. So I have to be calculated what is the true bearing. Magnetic bearing of a line given. First is given in the quadrantal system. Then I converted into the reduced bearing system. Converted into the whole circle bearing. Declination is given 10 degrees 15 minutes. So this true north magnetic bearing is given. Now so I have to be calculated that the true bearing. True bearing is from here to here. So this is the line AB. Line AB. True bearing is from true north I am going to be measuring. So this is your magnetic north. From the magnetic north, I am going to be measuring as magnetic bearing. 210 degrees 15 minutes is the magnetic bearing. 10 degrees 15 minutes is your declination. True bearing equals to. So true bearing equals to magnetic bearing plus 10 degree. Magnetic bearing plus 10 degrees 15 minutes. So your true bearing is equals to magnetic bearing is 210 degrees 15 minutes plus 10 degrees 15 minutes. So your true bearing equal to 220 degrees 30 minutes. 220 degrees 30 minutes. But I have to be converted into the quadrantal system. 220 degrees 30 minutes. 220 means this is 220 degrees 30 minutes. But I have to get what is the quadrantal bearing. This is the theta. Means 220 degrees. 220 degrees minus 180. 40 degrees 30 minutes is southwest. So this will be equals to your true bearing be equals to southwest 40 degrees 30 minutes. 40 minutes west. In this way, I am going to be referencing with the quadrantal bearing system also. Given quadrantal bearing system, converted into the reduced bearing. From that, I calculated what is the true bearing. Once again, I am going to be showing that the true bearing also in terms of the quadrantal system. So finally, answer also comes another quadrantal bearing system. So this is about the what is the declination, how the declination is going to be varies. So there is the eastward declination and as westward declination is given. Then how we are going to be calculating that the true bearing and as well as the magnetic bearing. If the system bearing is going to be given whole circle system or give a bearing is going to be given in the quadrantal system, how we are going to work out the calculation of the true bearing and as well as the magnetic bearing. Now next is going to be called as what is meant by the dip of the magnetic needle. What is the dip of the magnetic needle? Dip means it is going to be inclined in a one particular direction. Then we are going to, in general, it's going to be called dip means it is going to be bend or it is going to be deflected. Deflection is going to be occur. So here the needle, the magnetic needle suspended freely. So then it is going to shows to the magnetic north. So before magnetization, it is going to be properly balanced. After magnetization, what is going to happen? Because of the magnetic influence, it is going to be deflected or inclined towards the poles. So it is going to be more attraction will be there at the poles. It is going to be deflected downwards towards the poles. That's why that is going to be called as a dip. So dip is going to be called as the So this is known as the dip. So your magnetic north is going to be inclined towards the north and south poles. With respect to the inclination towards the horizontal, we are going to be called as a dip. Inclination towards the horizontal, or we are going to be called as inclined towards the horizontal, we are going to be called as a dip. So because of is the magnetic influence of the poles, it is going to be attracted more. It is going to be bent. It is going to bend towards the poles. That is going to be called the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So the attraction is going to be more, then it's going to be bent towards the north and south poles. So that we are going to be called as dip. If the dip is going to occur, means it is going to be a horizontal. Your magnetic needle is going to be horizontal. Magnetic needle is horizontal at the equator. At the equator, it is going to be horizontal position. At the poles, it is going to be called as inclined position. So your magnetic needle is going to be inclined. That is going to be deflection is going to occur because of the magnetic influence of the poles. So equator is going to be horizontal. But while you are going for measuring the direction, always your magnetic needle, the magnetic north, magnetic needle shows magnetic north, it is always perfectly horizontal. If it is going to be inclined or it is going to be deflected towards the directions, so then we are able to get that the bearings is going to be wrong, or the erroneous bearings we are able to get it. So that's why so we had to rectify it as the dip. So how we are going to rectify it? That we are going to be using by the rider. Rider will be placed on the magnetic needle in such a way that make sure that your magnetic needle always perfectly horizontal. If it is going to be freely suspended, it is going to be balanced and it is going to be horizontal position. So this is by using the brass coil. By rider, we are going to be made up of the brass coil. We are going to place it under brass and silver coil. Brass or the silver coil we are going to be prepared. Then we are going to be using as a rider. Rider means we are going to place it under the needle. So then it is going to make sure that it is going to comes into the horizontal position. So that is we are going to be called as a dip. Dip is going to be called as deflected towards it is going to be deflected downwards and it is not going to be perfectly horizontal. Your magnetic needle is going to be not perfectly horizontal. So that we are going to be call it as the dip with the horizontal. How much inclination will be there with the horizontal? How much deflection to the horizontal we are going to be measuring that we are going to be called as a dip. At the equator, the dip is 0, but the poles, the dip will be more. So how we had to be corrected it? We are going to be placing the rider along the magnetic needle by using the brass or the silver coil. So then you have to be make sure that your magnetic needle is going to be horizontal. So this is about that. What is the dip and how influencing that the magnetic bearings. Then the declination also is going to be variation of declination is there. Variation of declination. Variation of declination is going to be classified into secular variation, secular variation. and annual variation, diurnal variation, irregular variation. So the declination is your true north, magnetic north, theta degrees west, theta degrees is north, south, east, and west. So the declination is going to be the horizontal angle between the true north and magnetic north. If it is in eastward direction, it is going to be called east declination, is the east. If in the westward direction, the declination is going to be westward direction, then it is going to be called as west declination. That is the angle between the true north and magnetic north is going to be called as decline or the declination. How much deviation will be there from the true north? So that is how it is going to be varied. It is going to be classified into the secular variation, annual variation, diurnal variation, and irregular variation. So what is the secular variation? Secular variation is going to occur after 100 years. After 100 years, what is going to happen? The magnetic meridian is going to be swinging like a pendulum. So your magnetic meridian, so this is your true north, and so your magnetic north or magnetic meridian, it is going to be swings from one direction to the opposite direction, from this direction to this direction. When it is going to happen, after 100 years, the variation is going to occur. This declination is going to be varies after 100 years. That we are going to call as secular variation. This is going to happen your magnetic meridian. Magnetic meridian is going to be swinging like a pendulum. It's from one direction to the opposite direction. So then automatically declination is going to be varies. It is not going to be constant. Always the declination is not going to be constant. Place to place it is going to be varying. That's why it is going to be called a secular variation. After 100 years, obviously it is going to be varies. This is called secular variation. Then the other one is going to be called as annual variation. Annual variation, the term itself is going to be giving yearly. So the variation, so is going to be variation is going to occur yearly. So this is because of that. So the rotation of the earth. Annual variation is going to be called as rotation of the earth. Rotation of the earth. Axis is going to be inclined. Its axis is going to be inclined, and it is traveling in an elliptical path of a earth, elliptical path of earth, and makes around a sun. So it takes the 1 year. That is the annual variation. So then it is going to be the variation is going to be where 1 minute to 2 minutes. How much variation is going to be after 1 year? So how much variation is going to occur? That is we are going to call the annual variation, the rotation of the earth. So around the sun, then it is going to be called 1 minute to 2 minute variation. So that we are going to call a variation is going to be called the annual variation. Earlier 100 years, now it is going to be called every year. So the declination is going to be varies in terms of the magnitude is 1 minute to 2 minutes. That we are going to call the annual variation. The next one is going to be called as diurnal variation. So diurnal variation, or we are going to be called as daily variation. Diurnal variation or the daily variation, it is going to be varies within 24 hours. 24 hours, every 24 hours, the variation of the declination is going to occur. So daily means it is 24 hours. So 24 hours. So every 24 hours, the variation of declination is going to occur, is going to be called daily variation. So this is also is going to be called the rotation of the earth on its own plane, on its own axis, rotation of the earth on its own axis. So then it is going to occur, the variation is going to occur in the In the declination, we are going to be called as daily variation in 24 hours. Every 24 hours, this is going to vary from 3 minutes to 12 minutes. So the magnitude of the variation of declination is 3 minutes to 12 minutes for every 24 hours. That is we are going to call diurnal variation or the daily variation. Then last one is going to be called as irregular variation. So last one is going to be called irregular variation because this is going to occur of sudden. Variation is going to occur in sudden, or it is going to be called as natural cause. Sudden or the natural cause. What are the natural causes is going to be called as volcanic eruptions, or sometimes heavy storms. Volcanic eruptions or heavy storms or the earthquakes. So this is going to be, the variation is not going to be daily or the annual or the secular. It at any time, any period of time it is going to occur, is going to be called irregular. So without giving any intimation, it is going to be variation is going to occur. So that is the natural phenomena. So natural cause of volcanic eruptions are the storms, heavy storms or the heavy winds or the earthquakes. These are the reasons. So the variation of declination is going to occur. It is going to be changes that we are going to call it irregular. There is no pattern will be there. That's why we are going to call as irregular variation. So that the declination is going to be varied secular and declination is going to be varied annual. The declination is going to be varied daily or the diurnal, and last one is going to be called as irregular variation. So this is about what is meant by the declination and what is meant by the dip of the magnetic needle. So these are very two important while we are going for carrying out the compass surveying. While we are going for measurement of the directions, so this we have to identify the declination and as well as the dip. After correcting that the declination and as well as the dip, so we have to be carry out the compass surveying, then we can able to get the directions in terms of the bearings is going to be correct. Otherwise, if you are not going to be detecting that the declination or the dip, whatever we are going to be measuring the bearings is going to be the erroneous measurements we are able to get it. And then the whatever bearings we are going to be calculated and angles we are going to be calculated from the bearings is also is goes wrong. So that's why, so we had to be identify that the local attraction, identify that the declination, identify that the dip. These are all the three phenomena will be required while we are going to be carrying out the compass surveying by using the prismatic compass or by using the surveyor's compass. So with this, the today's session is going to end.